Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for those who have joined the panel discussion. I'm just going to take a moment to introduce you to our three speakers today, and then we'll jump into the panel discussion. So first we have Dr. Jessica Barker, who is an award-winning global leader in the human side of cybersecurity. She is a co-founder and co-CEO of Sygenta, where she follows her passion of positively influencing cybersecurity awareness, behavior, and culture in organizations around the world. She has delivered face-to-face cybersecurity awareness sessions to over 40,000 people in over 23 countries. She is a popular keynote speaker, including keynoting RSA San Francisco in 2020. Jessica is the go-to cybersecurity expert for many media outlets, appearing on BBC News, Sky News, Channel 4 News, BBC Radio, and so much more. Jessica has been named one of the top 20 most influential women in cybersecurity in the UK and is a best-selling author of two popular books in the field, Confident Cybersecurity and Cybersecurity ABCs. Susan Welstead is the Director of IT Risk at a leading Canadian wealth management firm and has had over 20 years of experience as an energetic technology and cybersecurity leader, driving IT, security, and operations teams. She has experience across a broad range of industries, including financial, high-tech manufacturing, and B2B distribution. She holds an MBA from Robbins School of Management at the University of Toronto, as well as a CISSP and PMP designations. She has a particular affinity for promoting the cybersecurity field and holds a director position with the ISC2 Toronto chapter, often presenting at events to both educate business leaders as well as encourage the next generation of cyber and risk professionals. Finally, Danny Pehar has more than 20 years of experience in the cybersecurity industry, is a member of the Forbes Technology Council, and is a monthly cybersecurity content contributor to the renowned business magazine. His portfolio also includes regular television appearances that have built him an engaged broadcast audience and social media following. As the architect of the cybercrime equation, Danny works closely with the Toronto Police Cyber Task Force as well as the FBI Cyber Task Force. He also sits on the board of directors of InfoSec TO. As a best-selling author and professional keynote speaker, Danny uses his own executive security storytelling formula to successfully educate organizations on the ever-relevant world of cybersecurity. Whether providing cybersecurity awareness training to CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, new employees, or even elementary school students, Danny draws on his experience as a comedian and motivational speaker. But to kick things off, I'm wondering if each of you would be able to share in your own experience, what are the best tactics to use to increase the effectiveness in educating with your cybersecurity awareness program? And Jessica, maybe we'll start with you.
Hi, thanks so much. Great question. So I find the most effective tool when I am raising awareness is to build self-efficacy. So to help people feel more confident. And so self-efficacy comes down to people feeling that they are able to engage in the recommendations we provide. And so it is about making people feel confident and giving the tools. In awareness raising, there's not a lot I can do to influence whether they have the tools available. But for me, one of the core things I do is I look to create a psychologically safe space when I'm doing awareness raising. For example, I gave a session, I'll never forget it, for one of our clients a couple of years ago. And the group came in, they sat down, and one person in the group was clearly really scared. She looked incredibly anxious. And in the introductions, she introduced herself and she said, I don't feel like I should be here. I'm really worried. I feel really anxious because I've been the cause of 2 incidents in this organization. And so cybersecurity, this really scares me. And I told her that that made her the perfect person to be there, because when you have experienced something, you know it so much more. And she had so much expertise she could share with the room. And she sort of took this on board, and she started to tell the story of what happened in one of the incidents. And in doing so, and in getting feedback from people, in sharing the lessons learned, she turned from feeling scared to actually feeling like, you know what, I don't need to take blame for these incidents. And she kind of became more of a leader in the room, and she opened up so much more then to every discussion we had and to learning more about security. So helping people feel confident is one of the most important things, I think, in awareness raising.
Mm-hmm.
And Susan, maybe we'll jump to you next.
Sure. I think that's right on the money. The confidence is definitely a huge piece of it. And I remember a conference I was at, and the gentleman who was in charge of the Equifax cybersecurity during their big incident was one of the speakers at the event. And I think the room, you could hear a pin drop. And it wasn't, you can imagine what that can do for a career, right? A CISO or someone else who has to live through an event like that. And making it relatable to people is also that other piece, right? Where they need to see themselves in the subject matter. And if you can't see yourself and you can't envision this happening to you or to your organization, you're not going to really, it's just not going to ring true. It goes back to that storytelling that Mr. Terry O'Reilly mentioned. And then the payoffs, make it pay off early. So if you teach people something or make them aware of something, so like real relatable phishing examples, make it so that when they go home and they scan their emails, they see it right away. They're able to identify something, so they instantly make the connection.
That's fantastic. And Danny, what about you?
Yeah, absolutely. And also, thank you, Jamie, for having me. Real pleasure to be here. Love Beauceron, love BeaucerCON, love the show so far, and love being teamed up with Jessica, Susan, and yourself for this. So I love Jessica and Susan's answers, and I'm going to maybe continue from Susan's answer. Susan talked about making them feel it when they're at home. So my favorite tip for making any type of awareness program, whatever that is, whether it's Beauceron, whether it's cartoon videos, whether it's a speaker or reading material, tell your employees that they can feel free to share it with their family, with their young loved ones, with anyone living in that home. And this is going to do two things. From a logical point of view, the benefit of this is, think about it. What's been happening since the pandemic? More people than ever have been working off of the shared home network. I'm not just talking about employees. I'm talking about boyfriends, girlfriends, kids. Everybody is at home maximizing that network. So what does that mean from a logical point of view? Well, that means if you've got an employee at home and they're surrounded by family members or whoever's living in that home, and those people are not security aware, then that means you've got an employee that's not security aware. Really, today, in this day and age, we've got to move beyond employee training, and we've got to really think about training that entire home, that entire family. From a psychological point of view, this is really how you're going to get them to take it very seriously, right? Because you remind them, guys, this is bigger than just corporate training. This is about training your family, and feel free to use whatever material and sit down and share it with your family. That's something that I always encourage, and it always seems to go over well. So hope that helps, Jamie.
It does, and I think it's so much more relevant in the world of working from home that we're in. So thank you for sharing that.